Okay, so we're back again. If you guys watched my last video of that bike that's running away now, you'll know that I'm doing a few today. And as you can probably hear in the background, there is a bike running. And in the last video, I talked about what bike I might be getting on next. It is, in fact, the cbr600rr. I'm not sure of what year this one was. I do know they only made the blue in so many years, so you can kind of depict it from there. If you guys didn't know, I had a 600. Sadly I got in a wreck with my 600. It was a 2012. It was all black. Had Two Brothers exhaust as well. So I know what to expect from this bike, but it has been long enough that it's gonna be it's gonna be a refresher. So I'm gonna relearn all my favorites and hates about it. So it's gonna be a fair review. But I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited. I haven't been on a CBR since my wreck. And I really, truly loved that bike. It was probably my favorite bike. I love my Triumph, but it was no 600 CBR. So, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go. Oh, this is my baby! Oh, I missed my CBR! Sounds just like my old one too, same exact exhaust. Oh, I missed it. Okay, so CBR impressions. Like I said, I've owned one, so I knew what to expect getting on this thing. The seat, personally, in my opinion, I love the seat on the CBR. It encompasses my entire butt exactly the way a seat should. Now, you are up on the tank. You can move back, but to get a good ride, you are up on the tank. So your nuts, I mean, if you're a guy, your nuts are going to be in this tank. But it's nothing super uncomfortable. Like I said, owned one. I did 5,000 miles in a little over 2 months. So, I mean, that goes to attest to how good the bike is, comfort-wise. The CBR is different than every other 600 really in the market, where their handlebars have a little bit higher than they have on the other the other 600s. So the cbr600 is the more modest of all the super sports. Gixxers are said to be the most comfortable. But I find that Honda, for me personally, is the most comfortable. Honda really, when it comes to anything really, they don't really, and I've said this in my CBR 1000 video, they don't really do everything or anything perfect, like super amazing, outstanding, but they don't do anything bad. The complaints I had for my CBR of owning it were very, very slim. I think the only thing really was, I don't even know. The only thing really was, after 600 miles, my butt hurt. But 600 miles on most bikes is going to make your butt hurt. So, I mean, like I said, I loved my CBR. I have to be careful, though. Like I said, I know this bike, and it's all coming back to me. So I have to be careful because I might get myself in trouble on something like this. Now, I'm not sure if this thing's completely stock. Mine completely stock would do 70 in first gear. So like I said, I know what this bike can do. So I have to be very careful. You can tell that my voice is very amped up. I'm very excited. I love CBRs. These are my favorite 600s. So I'm very excited to be back on one. He's had it for a while. I never really did it because I didn't think I would enjoy it this much. Just getting back on it, though, is bringing back so many memories of so many rides. and doing so much stupid stuff. I wish I could say I was an angel online, but man, did I do stupid stuff all the time. This was before I had any sort of GoPro footage, GoPro drift, anything like that. After my wreck, I went and got a new helmet, and that's when I bought my drift. I'm definitely gonna have to race my car on this bike. It's gonna happen. So there's probably gonna be a few cuts here, but this is gonna become a pretty fun video. Okay, so we're back on. You'll see I did a little bit of a costume change. I put on my racing jacket. Turn around. We're gonna go find some fun roads. And that's why I put the racing jacket on, because it might get a little sketchy. Not a big fan of blue. As you guys know, I am a white and red person. Car is white, it has some red accents. My bike is white, has some red accents. All my gear is white with red accents. It's just the color combination that I prefer. The blue, though, is not bad. The blue is a pretty, I don't really want to say rare color, because I mean it was produced widely, but it's an unseen color, uncommon. So having that, you know, people, you know, look at it and they're like, ooh, what is that? And until they figure out, you know, it is a cbr600. A lot of people have complaints with 600s, how they don't have a bunch of torque down low, and the low end just isn't very good at all. I don't have those complaints. I actually love the low end on 600s. Now, I mean, they're no thousands. I mean, thousands are absolutely, you know, mean in every single level. But I have no complaints when it comes to power-wise on a 600. I'm a big street rider, so I don't get it out to the track, and I don't really have the need for all the super extra horsepower that you get when it comes to 1000 cc's. Having a 600 really, in my opinion, if you're going sport bike, is the perfect size. It has the right numbers, in my opinion. They're fairly cheap. The aftermarket is huge on them. Most of the 600s haven't been updated since about 2009 or earlier. So, I mean, the aftermarket support on them is huge because they haven't changed. So companies have had years and years and years of being able to build up. Now the CBR is the 14's just got a facelift. But there hasn't been any like crazy improvements, like no new engines, no new super crazy new horsepower numbers. The design has stayed roughly the same. Like I said, it got a facelift, but the design was very similar. And that's also a bad thing about 600s. They're not getting the updates. They're not getting, you know, the new followings. No one's going crazy over the new ones. So it kind of a toss-up. You know, you get to have a reliable, nice bike that's on a proven platform, or you spend the extra money for the hot new flashy toy, but it does have all the updated electronics, and you have the nice new engine and stuff like that. I forgot just how loud my two brothers' exhaust was. Okay, so we left a photo shoot. We're gonna head back to the dealership. You guys, like I said, you might remember this place from the cbr1000. I'm not gonna go into too much detail on the bike. There's 1,000 reviews out there of this bike, and mine's not gonna be anything different. I've already said my words on, the comfort-wise. I love the power of the inline fours, stuff like that. This bike just brings back so many memories for me. It's honestly almost sentimental. The CBR that I had was really the first bike that I ever rode. And by that I mean, like, my first two bikes, my Harley and my cbr600rr, they were bikes that I learned on. The cbr600rr is the first bike that I rode, that I could actually, I felt a part of the bike. So that's, I can't review it without getting sentimental and getting into it. The cbr600rr to me is an amazing bike. I've never ridden one that I didn't like. Now I didn't like the F3s and the F4s, but the 600s I have no beef with. They just do everything so great. Granted, they're not the best horsepower, they're not the most comfortable, stuff like that. They don't get perfect marks, but they don't get bad marks. And enough, regular, once all the little things come together, it makes a world of a difference for the bike. It's just everything is so done well. I mean, Hondas are reliable. It's just once all the pieces of the puzzle come together, this bike is just absolutely fantastic.